So, remember when I believed those texts, right?
Yeah,
And you're like, I can see why you would, but also, I'm just hurt.
I said that.
Well, that's, I guess, the gist of what I got that you were saying. Was it different?
Um, I was mainly kind of upset that you believed them and you didn't give me the chance to explain it, and you just hung up. And if I was actually in danger still, I wouldn't have been able to communicate that, or anything at all.
No.
And then you kind of turned it into I was, I knew they were fake. I was just playing along, and then it turned into, no, I did kind of believe it because of my past and that. And it was a 50-50 of a lie. So it's kind of all over the place. But yeah, that's why.
Alright, never mind, then the comparison doesn't work. Never mind.
Comparison we're trying to make.
It's good. It doesn't work anymore.
Okay, well, what are you trying to say regardless?
I can objectively see why you were doing what you were doing.
Uh-huh.
And when you started taking the pictures, I was originally furious because I was like, why would you, she doesn't want that out there, pictures of her being tortured. And then I realized what you were probably doing, so, then I let up and didn't say anything. And I was like, I'm not gonna think the worst, I'm believing the best, and I'm sure you got a plan, I know you. So, like, I got it. But I'm still hurt by what you did.
What, taking the picture?
No, I told you I didn't want to go back in there, and you took me back in there.
Mm-hmm.
You asked if I was okay, and I said I don't want to go back in there, and you took me back in there.
Do you know why I took you back in there?
Yes, because you wanted more witnesses.
As well, well, that's one of the reasons. Why did we go there in the first place?
I don't exactly know.
Did Jojo call you on the phone?
Yes.
What did she say?
She said she was in a box and there's blood on the table and she needs help.
And what did you say?
I said, let me gather some information, let me see what I can do.
What did you want to do?
Figure out what was going on before I ran in there.
Did that happen?
A little, yeah, because I got that call from Kirk and everything.
So you said you got a little information because what?
Because Kirk called me and was talking about cannibalizing her and such.
Okay, so once you found out that information, what did you want to do?
There's nothing I could do.
I didn't say what could you do. I said what did you want to do?
I wanted it to stop.
You wanted the whole situation to just stop?
Everything. I wanted him to stop trying to use me to prove some sick point. I wanted Jojo to stop getting hurt. I wanted Lily to not give in to it and help him clearly and go back to her cannibalistic ways. I mean, I don't mind cannibals, but she said it's not good for her, so.
So what do you think the best course of action would have been now that everything's happened?
Sneaky, I don't know.
Okay. Do you think the course of action that was taken was the wrong course of action?
I don't think there was ever a right course of action.
What do you mean?
I think there was a lose-lose situation, and no matter what we did, something would go wrong, somebody would get hurt, and it would fucking suck.
Of course. Of course. I mean more like, did we make a mistake with any of the things that we did?
Don't think so.
Did I make it a mistake by having you go back in there?
Yep, because I told you I didn't want to.
That's where the mistake is, because you told me you didn't want to and I had you go in there anyway?
I mean, I wouldn't call it a mistake. You just hurt me with that. I see why you were doing it, and I get logically why you were doing it. I'm just fucking hurt by what you did.
You're allowed to be hurt by it. Would it have been better if I let you stay out there?
I, I, I don't know how to answer that question. Would I have preferred you let me stay out there? Yes. Do I think it would have ended up better? I have no idea. I have no way of telling.
So you would have preferred to stay out there, and your reasoning is because you didn't want to be a pawn to what Kirk
I didn't want to
was
be a
doing?
part of that.
So it's just you didn't want to be a part of it. Nothing else.
I mean, that's the gist of it. Kirk's using me as a pawn. He wants a reaction. I don't want to be a part of it. Chatty told us to let Kirk do his thing, to let him, and the consequences will be dealt with later. But when he's like that, to just let it happen. And that's what we did. So we did right. I just didn't want to be a part of it.
All right. Well, I'm sorry for making you do something you didn't want to do.
It's alright. You're still my favorite person, and I still love you always.
Let me talk to Joanna when she gets out of the hospital.
Okay.
Let me see if she is. With that being said, I got a couple questions though. Just hypothetical.
Alright, go ahead. Sorry, Hazel called. I'm just checking to make sure she's safe. Yeah, what's up? What are your questions? Okay.
When I didn't want you to be there for torturing Emmy, you still ended up wanting to go, right?
Yeah,
Why?
because I wanted to make sure you were safe.
That's why.
Yes.
Okay. When you tortured Emmy, why did you want me to be there?
Because I needed you there.
Alright. What's up, Ember? A little bit. Is this a long conversation? Yeah, I was able to help. Called the police. They showed up. I was a bit late, but they knew who it was. Well, I didn't call the police. I posted it on Twitter. And then I pinged the marshal and they showed up. Yeah, I mean, I already got done though. What are you confused about? Yeah, I took a picture of him torturing and I called the police. It'd be funny. I said, you talking about Jojo? Oh! Wait, what was your question about that? No, wait, what are you talking about? Let's focus on that again. But that's why you called. Um, they have been, let me know, they have been looking for like tourniquets and oxy and stuff. They said Hydra might be able to supply them, but they're on standby for it right now.
Wendy also understands that
Kirk
With Sneaky's
kidnapped
background to
Jojo
him.
and cut her calf and was
You
gonna
see,
eat
here's
it,
the
but I
thing.
called the
Here's the
police pretty
thing.
much.
Here's the thing. You have to understand, Wendy understands about him.
Yeah, he already cut the
That
calf.
his entire life torture is just torture. He's been taught his entire life that torture is just torture. And that once that torture enters, it doesn't really, like, it's just torture. Like, that's what he was taught, is torture is just torture. It doesn't matter if you like that person or not, like, torture is just torture. So I think he's asking because he genuinely does not understand the difference. And Wendy's like, I'm happy to explain, but you
I
can't
do.
tell me
You
I'm
want me
wrong for
to-
caring.
You want me to put his phone number as my lemon list description?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Alright, cool. Alright, bye.
Wendy doesn't think he has any malice in the questions he asks. He's just genuinely trying to understand. Are you trying to understand how it's different?
Well, how was? No, I'm just wondering why these things were done.
Why which things
I
were
mean, I
done?
guess why you wanted to be there for something I told you I didn't want you there for, and then why you wanted me for something that just me for something involving torture, and then when torture is happening to Joanna, you didn't want to be there. And I know the answer to all of them now, so.
Okay. Yeah, it's my skeleton. I imagine you were taught from a very young age to turn off that emotion and that connection. Yes? Like, torture is just torture to you, right?
Yeah, isn't that the same for you?
No.
You talk about it a lot.
I
said you like it.
No, I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm saying I like torture, I find it interesting, fascinating, and I like to do it. But when it comes to somebody I care about, I cannot just flip into that torture mode like you can. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I suppose it's just if Joanna calls you and says that she wants you to help her and be there, and you show up and then you leave, I don't know. If I called someone to come see me and be there while I'm being tortured and that person leaves, I don't know. I'd just be like, okay.
Maybe I couldn't stand it, and maybe I needed to step away because despite how much Jojo needs me, I am a person who has limits, and there's only so much.
I mean, fair enough, but I think that also applies to Joanna.
I mean, there's literally nothing I could have done. Nothing.
I think you being there was something, and probably a lot more.
You tell me.
You might think.
You tell me to put myself first, and I tried to put myself first there, but I wasn't considerate enough of Jojo. I don't know where the line is.
It's a weird line. There's times it's hard to explain. Of course, I want you to always put yourself first, but there's times where even when I want to put myself first, I don't.
So you don't agree with me not wanting to be there?
A little bit. I know if this were to happen again and you wanted to leave, I would let you leave.
Thank you.
But I do know it would hurt Joanna a lot, and it would probably continue if you weren't there to not give that reaction. I can't say that for sure.
I can't win. I can't win. No matter what I do, I can't win. No. No matter what I do, it is wrong and I can't win.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just explaining my thought process. I'm not saying you I already apologized and I said I wouldn't do it again. If you don't want my point of view, I'll stop.
I want your point of view, but I want you to also say you understand my point of view.
I do understand your point of view. That's
Thank
why I said I
you.
wouldn't have you do that again
Thank you.
if it was something that would happen. I'm not mad at you for not wanting to be there. I'm just thinking of all situations right now. And what could have happened if it didn't happen?
I just want one day where anything I do isn't analyzed. That's all I
I'm not
want.
just analyzing you. I'm analyzing Kirk. I'm analyzing Joanna. I'm analyzing Tessa. I walked over to Tessa, got in the car with her, didn't say a word. She said, "Can I help you?" I said, "No." She got out of the car and walked away. And I told her if she wants to talk whenever she wants, let me know.
Why are you
There's a lot of.
analyzing everything?
I said this before. Jojo's calling me though. Hey Jojo. You doing all right? If you can't speak, you can text me if you want. But when you can, I wanna meet up and get your thought process about a few things, and probably explain a little bit as well. You want me to ping you, or you want me to come get you, or you need some time? All right. Call me when you feel good enough to speak. Got it. So will I. Is there anything you need before I go? All right. Get better. Goodbye. It's because there's a point I've been trying to make, a bunch of points I've been trying to make, Wendy. And I needed to make sure certain things happen so that certain people understand. I needed Kirk to realize that if he does something to a non clown again, you're not just gonna fall into his trap of hurting him again for it. I mean, he even put the gun there, so you go in and shoot him, obviously, right? So I might be wrong in thinking this, but having you there throughout the whole thing and not giving him what he wants is the opposite of being a pawn.
I can see your point.
But hey, like you said, you didn't want to be there. You didn't want to participate. And that made me think, man, there's been a time where we tried to ignore someone doing things like this. And in return, it's gotten a lot worse. And they've acted out even more. When you ignore a toddler having a tantrum, they find other ways. They don't just give up.
I see where you're coming from. I see the points you're trying to make. Trust me, I do. And I appreciate that you're trying to get everyone to understand and see these points, and you're spending all this time talking to people and trying to get them to understand. I see you. That's a lot of effort, and that takes a lot. I get it. I just. Today just fucking sucked.
That's true. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm not saying it didn't. And it's still happening. It's not over.
I just. You can ask me all the questions because I know you're just trying to understand and getting your head around it. I just also need you to hug me and tell me it's going to be okay.
You gotta understand that I think you did the right thing as well.
Oh,
I
well,
think you
I
went
didn't.
back. You going back in there, huh?
Oh, you've never said you thought I did the right thing.
You stayed.
Mm-hmm.
You going there and not leaving once I brought you there?
Let's start with that next time.
All right.
I kind of have this bad habit I'm trying to break of immediately assuming like everyone hates me and thinks the worst of me. And I'm trying really hard, but sometimes it's like really, really hard. And starting with, I think you did the right thing, and a hug and it's gonna be okay, makes. Then I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Let's talk, all that stuff. I just. I need that stuff first.
All right.
And I'm sorry, and it's stupid, and I know it's
Whoa,
silly, but
whoa, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa.
need it.
No apology. You didn't do anything wrong in the situation.
Thank you.
I made you do something that you didn't want to do. I was thinking for my own plans, my own points.
You were also you were also watching something pretty not cool, and you were also just going into like the way our brains go into like defense mode is very different, and I think we both went into defense mode, but our brains went into different defense modes. You know what I'm saying?
I guess. I'll be honest, I am not necessarily going to be affected too much by what happened today.
Oh, so sorry. I wasn't saying like, oh my god, it's gonna affect you horribly. I meant just being put in that situation where you have to watch that and deal with that, whether it affects you or not. Still, you're being put into a situation you didn't ask to be put in, right?
I mean, I knew it was going to happen. I knew like a few days ago that it was going to happen.
I'm gonna need you to explain that a little bit more. I'm gonna need you to step that out like a little bit more here.
When I talked with Kirk, I told him about what I did to Chatty and Tessa. He told me about his plan to eat Joanna's cat,
Okay.
and I didn't try to stop him because why? Why would I try to stop him? He also said if he told me, and I told anyone else, he would have to kill me or something along the lines of that, or like do something really bad to me. He said. Obviously, I assume that entailed you. So why would I say anything?
It's not my favorite thing ever, but also I'm not the one in that situation, you know? I could sit here and say all different ways I could have done it or I could have stopped him, but I wasn't you and that wasn't my choice. I see why you made the choice you made. You gotta understand, if he's trying to protect Wendy, Wendy will always let it go. Wendy is always going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Always. Because Wendy would do the same thing. If somebody threatened Sneaky, if somebody said, I'm going to torture that other person, if you tell anyone I'm going to kill Sneaky, Wendy wouldn't say anything. Any more questions?
Um, I don't know about you.
Are you free for dinner?
I think so.
We could go to a nice dinner, huh? It's been a rough day.
Okay.
Okay. Well, today's been a clusterfuck, huh?
Yeah, good.
At least I got that S boost off. I'm just incredibly short, apparently.